Good morning. This angle is probably the least flattering angle ever. But there is a reason I chose this angle, because it's cold. I chose this angle to demonstrate how damn cold it is in this car. I'm definitely getting further south. Bit of random news. Actually, it's pretty cool news. I got some news that I received a scholarship to study Chinese in China. That probably seems pretty random to most of the people on this channel. And honestly, it is pretty random, but it's something that I'm pretty excited about. I've been studying Chinese for a good portion of my life. I had a massive hiatus of probably like 10 years where I just didn't study any. But I picked it back up a year ago. We're studying with a place called the Confucius Institute, which is a global body, and their mandate is to further Chinese language and culture around the world. And so I started studying with them, more diligently, I guess, a year ago. There's 3 levels of HSK, Hanyu Shui Ping Kao Shi, which is like standard Chinese level that's used around the world. And I passed HSK 3 back in March of this year. I had to do so to apply for this scholarship. And there's 6 levels. So I'm basically kind of halfway there. Last time I went to China was 2014, maybe? 2014, does that sound right? Probably like 10 years ago. A lot can happen in 10 years, and those are like Chinese 10 years, where things just, like buildings get built in 3 months. So looking forward to seeing what China's like 10 years after I've been there last. Trying to test out my Chinese ability, see how good it actually is or how poor it actually is, more likely. I'm really passionate about the language. It's so different to English. Everyone thinks it's really hard. I don't think it's that hard. I just find it really interesting. I think you've got to find your reason that you're interested in the language, and then it doesn't really become hard. It just becomes, another little challenge, I guess. It's going to be interesting getting back into uni life, but I'm going to try and stack all my classes just on a few days. So I've got a bunch of time to actually just like take some of the high-speed rails and go on some adventures in China, in a place called Xiamen. I can't remember if I said that, but yeah, the scholarship is a free ride to Xiamen University. I chose Xiamen basically just because of the weather. You can choose which universities you want to apply for. Like some of the big universities in Beijing and Shanghai, they're usually where people go, but I wanted to just do something a little bit different. I wanted warm weather. I didn't want to have to deal with winter. Beijing gets really cold. Shanghai gets pretty cold too in winter. So that wasn't for me. I've discovered I just want to chase summer around the globe for the rest of my life. But yeah, Xiamen's got basically a dry season and a wet season similar to Darwin. I think it's actually a similar distance from the equator as Darwin. Some of the cities over there have pretty poor air quality. Xiamen's is very good. It's got a lot of green space. The university I'm going to, Xiamen University, is actually very famous within China as being one of the most, I guess, iconic or beautiful universities. So I'm pretty keen to check that out. I will be living on campus in a student dorm, which is probably not going to be ideal, but to be quite frank, I've lived in the car for the last 4 months, so I know that I'll be comfortable with anything. Interesting though to live in a student dorm with shared facilities and everything. Anyway, just wanted to give an update to the, dare I say, fans of this channel, subscribers, that was my last video. The Lara Pinta video was the last one for the Australia road trip, and the content is going to be changing a little bit. I'm going to miss camping in this car and waking up to frosty mornings. For those who, I don't know, already know something about China and want me to go visit a certain place or climb a certain mountain or something like that, leave me a comment. That'll be cool. Will be fun to bring you guys along for the ride. But yeah, bit of a life update for you, and I will see you in the next video.